Hi friends, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Nicole, I'm blind, and I share some of my life here with y'all. My husband and I were high school sweethearts and have known each other since we were 16. And I'm a mom to 2 amazing humans and 2 fur babies. My 10-year-old guide dog, male black lab Figaro, and our 5-year-old pet silver beige standard poodle, Mocha. I love all things decluttering, cleaning, organizing, DIY household and building projects, at least during the warmer months, and gardening and lawn care, also during the warmer months. We live in Minnesota, so right now I'm not very patiently waiting for consistent temperate weather. Today I'm picking up our main level after a tragic and unexpected loss in our family. One of our closest family members unexpectedly passed away in February, and we celebrated that loved one's life in March. This has truly been one of the hardest times of our life. I don't think there's a way to prepare yourself for loss, especially one without warning. And having not gone through very many experiences like this in my life, when it happened, I didn't know, and still don't know really, how to navigate this period of grief and sadness. Once life things got so intensely lifey, our house just took a backseat, as it should. Areas we normally pick up every night were starting to stack up with projects and new clothes or shoes we had to purchase and try on. So today, my goal is to pick up and generally tidy what I can to get to some sort of imperfect baseline. Today's goal is progress, not perfection. I started in the kitchen like I always do. I feel like most of us have a preferred place to start. If I had to choose one area to keep picked up all the time, it would be the kitchen. So during that long monologue, I showed the current status of the main level of our house. It's not filthy or horrible by any means, but there are a variety of things just strewn about. Things that have been left out because we didn't have time to put them away, or projects in progress because of the time-sensitive nature of finishing up what we could and attending to another obligation. I put away the dry dishes, which also seemed pretty random. Baking sheets and measuring spoons and Toad's water bottle. The drawer all the measuring spoons go in is the only drawer I've made dividers for, but I love them and I hope that when the weather here warms up, I can make some more. Then I moved to folding what seems like all of our kitchen linens. I'm pretty sure I had used most of them before finally washing a load. I got all the towels and washcloths folded and put away. They have their own drawer just to the left of our sink and below the silverware drawer. Our silicone oven mitts and sink stoppers live in there also. Okay, we brought home this huge stack of paper plates from the services. We take Toad and some friends swimming at least once a week in the summer and do a picnic lunch at the pool, so I have no doubt we'll use them for our summer shenanigans. I sorted out the leftover plastic silverware from the services into our container for those and realized when I grabbed that container from the cabinet and 10 things fell out on me that I needed to at least address that shelf before I put these things back into the cabinet. I didn't plan to work on any cabinets today, but one thing leads to another, and here we are. This cabinet tends to be a catch-all for medications, extra Nespresso pods and accessories, small appliances, food storage containers, and we store our 3 ice cream makers and KitchenAid mixer in here as well. It's always full, just usually not stuff falling out when you open the door full. Once I was done with that shelf, I cleared off the rest of the kitchen counter, wiped it down with Mrs. Meyer's all-purpose spray, and enjoyed the brief period of time with next to nothing on the counters. My college-aged son had used the immersion blender and not wrapped it up or put it away, so I go ahead and take care of that here. On our stove, you can see we have a container of soup that is thawing out. Someone gifted one of those spoonful of comfort packages to our loved one, and they shared the soup with us. It was delicious, and what a thoughtful gift. It was beautifully packaged. I'd seen them on social media, but I'd never actually seen one in person, and they really are nice. What a sweet gift, and such a nice thing to not have to worry about a meal.
Close your eyes, get some rest. I'm by your side, lay your head on my chest. I know you've had a really bad day.
I moved to the kitchen table next. We have two arrangements. You'll see me move from the table to the counter. One is a succulent arrangement we were sent after our loved one's passing. The other is a small fairy garden our youngest made at a class at our local garden center. Fairy gardens are one of our youngest special interests, so much so that I'm in the process of building them a year-round fairy garden table that will live on our back-covered patio. I can't wait to build it so they can design their fairy gardens on it, and so I can share it with you. I'm so excited for them, although it might be fulfilling a little bit of my inner child's delights also. As I clean the kitchen table, you might notice I was crying. I told my doctor the other day this time of grieving, it feels a lot like when I was postpartum from delivering my children. I find myself crying at nothing, just random triggers that have nothing to do with the person who passed. And once I've started crying, it's like the floodgates have opened. Get the Kleenex out because we're gonna be here a while. As I was cleaning the table, it was just a song that I'd never heard before, and it literally had me sobbing, full-on ugly crying. Had to get the Kleenex, but I kept going because that's what felt right to me. So I apologize for my face and my tears, but I'm glad I kept going, and I'm glad that I'm showing you real moments in our life. It's not always pretty or easy, but one step at a time, we will make it through. After the kitchen, I moved to the living room, which didn't have a ton of stuff making it a mess, so much as it had coats and clothes that needed hung up, blankets that needed folded and put into our ottoman, and pillows that needed to be fluffed up, set in their corners, and karate chopped, because now I love doing that. I did not vacuum. I did not dust. The goal today was just to get back to some sort of baseline. The house being a mess isn't important, but I can say with certainty that when our house is picked up and tidy, my brain and my thought process just feels more clear and streamlined. When our house is messy, my brain feels messy. And during this time, both my husband and I have expressed how different our thought processes have been, how our brains are just on overload and it's harder to think. That is the very reason this dining room I moved to after the living room is so overwhelming. This space became a catch-all in part because we can close the doors and in part because we actively worked on things for the celebration of life in here. Things piled up, pictures and printer toner boxes, paperwork, and so many things left out because we genuinely didn't have time to pick up. This all needs to go downstairs except for Mocha's kennel, which needs to go upstairs. I'm gonna get through that stuff a little later. I have some things I'm working on over there, some things to give away over here, a donate box here, stuff that needs to go upstairs, stuff that needs to go to a friend, a bag that needs to go in the closet. I might as well do that right now. Stuff that needs to go downstairs. Two really cute puppies. Living room is picked up. Kitchen area is picked up. About as good as I could have hoped for. It may not look perfect, but I am okay with that. Yeah, what do you think? At least it's picked up, huh? It feels a lot better. Do you want tummy rubs? Do you, Piggy? What do you want, Piggy? Oh, you want no, Momo. You want tummy rubs? Thanks for watching today's video and for your patience and kindness as we've navigated this period of grief. I know this is only the beginning and we've got a long way to go, but I also know that we are a strong, loving family and will help one another get through. Until next time, friends.